All right, you earn $12 per hour at your job. How much do you earn for working 40 hours? How would you get that answer? If you make $12 an hour and you work 40 hours, how could you get how much money you make? Good. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over to the calculator. And it is 480. Good. Are you typing it along with me, or did you know that one? Well, 12 times 4 is 48, and then you add the 0, so 480. Good. All right, so dollar sign in front of it, 480. Just so that you know, in real life, it would actually be less than that due to what?
Taxes.
Perfect. Taxes. All right. How much do you earn for working 35 hours? Well, you would just do 12 times 35. That's a more difficult one to do in your head. So let me type that in. $420. Except it wouldn't be that again because you would pay tax on and insurance and all the other stuff that comes out. Usually about 30%. I don't know what minimum wage in Virginia is right now. Does anyone know that? 12. Okay, I guess 12. But... All right, now look at number 3. This is backwards. How many hours did you work if you earn 456? Now what I need to type in? For the 456, what would I need to type to figure out how many hours I worked? Divided by 12. Perfect. There you go. 38 hours. So you want to make sure you put the dollar sign when it's money and then hours when it's hours so we can tell the difference. And then I would do the same thing for this one. Now, because it's only $384, do you want to make a guess? Estimation is a good skill to have. If you made less money, you worked what? Like fewer. You're giving a guess. What was it? 384? There you go. 32 hours. So we're going to graph a representation of this. We're going to label the X and Y axis. So what were the two things going on in the problem? Good. Good. Hours goes down here. Money goes over here. Now, if you work 0 hours, how many dollars do you make? 0. So you can put a point at the origin, and we're not going to go beyond that, like to the left, because we don't have negative time or negative. Well, I guess you can have negative money if you owe somebody something, but we're not going to graph that part. All right, so let's plot the points that we had. When we worked 40 hours, we made 480. So do you see how I have 40 right here? I'm going to go up to 480. That would be like right about there at the top. And put that point. And sorry, I just need to end this pass real quick. All right, and then let's maybe do like one more. When we worked 32 hours, we made 380. I'm just picking another one. You can plot any one of these you want. But for 32 hours, we made 384. So 32 would be right about there. 384, you know, like just below 400. It's not going to be perfect. But the point is, when you connect them, what do you get? What shape is it when you connect them? A line. What do you notice? It's a line. That's fine. I'm not going to grade your art skills. Okay. But it's a line, right? As opposed to like a circle. Do you get what I'm saying? Linear. Now, what is the slope of this line? It's really hard to tell from this graph because some of these numbers are so big. But remember what we said at the beginning of the problem. What do you think the slope of that line is? If you had to guess the number, it's one of the numbers that's on the paper here.
12.
Why is it 12? Because that's correct. Slope is 12. 12 for every hour you work. Up 12 over 1. I know that's really hard to tell from that graph, but 12. And what is slope? Slope is a rate of change. It's how much you're changing per hour in this case. But it could be like the speed your car is going, like miles per hour. That's a rate of change, and it is rise over run. That means it's how much did you go up or down, and then how much did you go over? Well, we gained $12 for doing 1 hour, and then another $12 for another hour, and another $12 for another hour. So that's our rise over run. Cool so far? Okay, go ahead and flip over. So I love slope. It's a nice, easy topic. All right. So your types of slope. See our little penguin guy here? Do you see how that's going up? Okay, so that is a positive slope. Going up means positive. Please let your like common sense kick in, okay? Here our little penguin guy is going down. So that is a negative slope. This one's flat or horizontal. So what is that slope? Well, it is, see, I like neutral, that's good. But if we say zero, like it doesn't go up or down at all. So zero, I like neutral though, that's good. All right, and then this one is what's called undefined. That's a hill that you could not walk up unless you had like suction cups on your feet or something. All right, so positive, negative, zero, undefined. I don't need us to write like a paragraph for these. I know it says state the input out, but let's just think of something that would be for each of these scenarios. Can you think of something that would increase? Which is a thing in life that goes up.
Money.
Money, like what we were doing, earning money? Like the paycheck? Like the one that we just did. You earned $12 an hour, that was increasing. So positive slope. What's something that would have a negative slope? And again, I don't want this to take forever or be like that in depth of a conversation, but can you just think of something in life that would decrease?
Your height got older.
You're very, very minimally. I'm not going to count that. Oh, like as you drink a cup of water, the level of water goes down? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Honestly, I think cheap is a better example.
Drinking water. No, I like that. Or pouring water out. As you pour it out, you have less and less and less of it. You want to write that down? You're the one that came up with it. Write it down. Pick up your pencil and write something down. All right. How about a zero slope? Something that's unchanging. Yeah, oh, serious answers only. All right. Something that doesn't change. Would stay constant is what we call that. Something constant.
There's like this cheese.
How about like cruise control?
What?
Do you know what cruise control in a car is? What does that do? Yeah, it's going to stay at that speed. Now, an undefined slope is really, really difficult to come up with something for that. The only thing I can really think of is like a rocket taking off. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it goes straight up into the air.
Sometimes it does.
Well, and sometimes it crashes. Well, if everything goes according to plan, it's going to go straight up into the air. Now, this is our acronym HOIVUX. We talked about HOIVUX in here before. I feel like we have. Or have you heard that acronym before? It's not a word, but neither is PEMDAS. It's just an acronym to help you remember horizontal and vertical lines. So H stands for horizontal. And which way is horizontal? I'll take a hand motion if you like this way, right? Left to right. Like the horizon. This stands for a zero slope. So horizontal has a zero slope. And its equation is y equals something. So for example, if we did y equals 5, and I just made up a number so we could draw an example, what you would do is count up to 5 on your y-axis, and I know those boxes are really tiny, but you would count up to 5 and then just draw a horizontal line at 5. It could be y equals -3, and you would just draw it at -3. It's just wherever that number is. But horizontal, zero slope, the equation is y equals something. Using that, what do you think these stand for? If this one's horizontal, what do you think the V is? Vertical, good. And the U stands for undefined. So instead of a zero slope, it's undefined. And the equation is going to be x equals something. So say we did x equals 2. I just made that up. It could be x equals any number. You would count to 2 on the x-axis and draw a vertical line. Horizontal and vertical lines are both easy and difficult. They're easy because they're very basic, but it's difficult because you have to remember which one is which. And they're easy to mix up. Okay? So remember that acronym, HOIVUX. Real quick, if I gave you x equals 17, would that be horizontal or vertical? X equals 17. It would be vertical. Perfect. All right, go ahead and flip it over. Now, you're going to have to extra bold the points that are there. You can't really see them too. I mean, if you look, this one is bolded, and then this one is bolded. Kind of extra bold those points so that you can see them. And what I want you to do for right now is draw in the triangle. It's rise over run. So it's how much up and then how much over did you go? So I want you to draw in the triangle, and then boys and girls, literally it is just counting the little boxes. So, hey, everybody, how much up did this go? And you'll probably want to look at your paper in front of you instead of up here because it's closer to you. 3, 4, 5, up 7. And then to the right, 4. 7 over 4.
Wow.
Now, if the fraction reduces, you should do that, but 7/4 doesn't reduce, so that's just your answer. That's it. Hey, Miss Cole, that's it? Yep. Now, go ahead and bold these points as well. If you look closely, you can see them. I can see them, and I'm old, so like you can see them too. But bold those points, and I want you to draw the triangle. Now, this one's going down, so what does that tell us about our slope?
Negative.
It's going to be negative. So it's how much down and then how much to the right did you go? Draw the triangle. Literally at that point, you're just counting. How much down did we go? 3. So it's going to be -3 over. Good, I agree. 9. Now that one does reduce. What would -3/9 reduce to?
-1/3.
-1/3. Good. Now, this one's a horizontal line. We don't really need bolded points. What's the slope of a horizontal line?
Forever.
0. 0. It doesn't go up or down. It's like cruise control. And then this one's a vertical line. What's your slope for vertical? Undefined. And if you just want to write UND, that's fine. I'm going to skip 5 and 6 because you're going to do that in your check your understanding. You just count little boxes. Draw a triangle and count little boxes, okay? Now this one says draw a slope with -1/3. It doesn't tell you where to start. If you can start wherever you want, where should you probably start? Where's the easiest point to start? 0, 0. Good. So put a point there. It didn't say where to start, so you can start wherever you want. Now the slope is like your instructions. This is telling you to go which way? Down 1, right 3. Okay, so from that origin point, go down 1, right 3. Now I'd like one more point. So I want you to look. If I go down 1, right 3, I'm going to be off the grid. So how can I get a point in the other direction? Instead, I would go up 1, left 3. Okay. You can count to 3, you can do it. I love slope. It's such a fun topic because if you can like count little boxes, you can do it. It's a simple thing. It is literally counting little boxes. That's really all slope is. I like this unit a whole lot. All right, so now we're going to grab some more lines. These ones give you a starting point though, so you have to actually start in the correct place. -3, -1. Oh, let's review the quadrants. What quadrant is that in?
Y-axis. 3.
Quadrant 3. You're going to go -3, -1. It would be right there. Quadrant 3. And then we want to do a slope of 2. Now it's really 2 over 1. So those are instructions telling you from this starting point to go which directions? Yep, up 2 over 1. And I would like for you to just keep going until you fill the whole grid. I don't want to hear how many points do I have to do? All of them. If you can count to 2, you can do it. So give me a break, okay? And then weirdly, I get a lot of people that don't connect them, and I have to take off for that because that's not a line. You have to actually connect them into a line. But how many points do you have to show? All of them, as many as will fit, okay? And again, if you can count to 2, you can do that. So I really don't want to hear any complaining about that. All of them. All right, let's try it again. Starting point for this one is 6, 5. What quadrant is that in? 1, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, if you can count little boxes, you can do this. So that's your starting point. Slope is -2/3. So those are instructions telling us to do what? Down 2 over 3. Okay, so go down 2 and specifically right 3. Down 2, right 3. Now, if I do that again, I'm gonna be off the grid. So how can I get points going in the other direction? Good, up to left 3. And then I can go up to left 3 one more time and then connect it. So do all of the points. If you can count to 2 and count to 3, you can do it. Do you see how that line is going down? And that's because it's negative slope. All right, starting point for this one is 4, 3. What quadrant is that in? 1, good. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There's your starting point. And it says slope of 0. Is that vertical or is that horizontal? Horizontal. So you're going to draw a horizontal line through that point. Quick follow-up. Would that be x equals a number or y equals a number? See, this is why it's hard, because it's one or the other. Hoi, vux. It's horizontal, so it would be y equals. Let's write the equations aligned. It would be y equals what number? Where are we? 3. Good. Y equals 3. And then one more. Starting point is -2, 6. Which quadrant is that going to be in? 2. Good. And it says undefined slope. So that's going to be a vertical line. Hey, can you draw a point at -2, 6 vertical line? Looks like you already did it. Good job. Now, would that be x equals or y equals? Good. It'll be x equals, and hey, everybody, it would be x equals what number? Like, where is the line? -2. Good. I need for you to not stop listening for one more second. I am going to give you the rest of the time to do your test corrections and check your understanding. You should get this done, but I'm going to share my screen. I want you to watch so I don't have to answer this question over and over and over again. Okay? You are going to need to make the graph bigger. I'm going to do an example problem for you. And you need to find 2 what I call pretty points, meaning they're on an exact whole number. So can you see this okay? How there's like an exact point right there? Are you looking? Okay. And then do you see how there's another one right there? Do not connect those 2. What they want you to do is make the triangle. So listen, so I don't have to answer this over and over again. I'm going to click there. I clicked. Do you see how I have this segment thing here? And I'm going to click right there. Do you see how I clicked, and it made a segment? Then I'm going to click on my other pretty point, click, and then I'm going to click right there. Do you see how I made the triangle? Then you write the answer. How much down did we go? 2. So -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -2 over 5 is the answer. I'm going to type in -2 over 5, submit. Do you understand how to do it? You're just going to practice a bunch of those, okay?